where that song explodes. Is that sort of the part of you that was saying, okay, we've got to get out of Wimpyville?
Exactly. The thing for me in that song was when it came to the solo section, it had to rip.
Yeah.
That sort of was the saving grace for me to play that. At least had to have that section where it was like balls to the wall. And pretty much like any gun song, you sort of go into what seems like the natural key, and you just go for it's spontaneous what the first thing is. And it sounds pretty structured, but it was just the way that it fell together. It's like we did like however many bars, and I started out, and then I think it was Steven just naturally picked up the drums, and we knew that cue, and it just took off on the wah, like the screaming part. And it wasn't really what you call something that you sit down and structure per se. It's just, it was part of the way the song was written,
Yeah, I know. Jimmy Page says that he just basically winged the solo to Stairway to Heaven, and everybody has a hard time believing that, but he said, you get inspired by that. I was talking to Mark Cantor, who wrote this book, The Reckless Road. And Mark tells me, who was there in the day, that the first time he heard the band, that solo was pretty much in place already, almost note for note.
Well, because when you get, like, if the song moves you, right, which is the most important thing, when you get to the solo section, it's just where you're at. So that's what you feel like at the time.
Right.
And so every time when you're, if the first pass was cool, next time you play basically somewhere around the same thing, and it falls into sort of a familiar kind of a pattern where certain cues, you know where they are because that's the way it feels, and that's basically all the structure you really need. It's hard.